Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order, and I am in a great era, the Jedi Apprentice books. Oh, so happy, so happy. Reading The Rising Force by Dave Wolverton again is a complete and utter joy. I loved it. I loved it. We're talking about young Obi-Wan. He's 12 years old, about to turn 13 in a month. He doesn't think he has a chance. He's going to go to the agri-corps, growing crops for Jedi on remote or, desolate planets, trying to get, vegetation to grow. And he doesn't want to do that. He's got a rival, as everyone does in school, right? Bruck, who goads him and tells him, he's Ophi one, he's an oaf, he's clumsy, and he's never going to be an apprentice, and, I don't know. He just goads him into fighting, and Obi-Wan gets angry. He's trying to control himself. Yoda's very impressed. Yoda tells him Qui-Gon's coming in. He's like, oh, wow, Qui-Gon, but he's never picked a apprentice before. He's because of an old apprentice he had that has kind of, upset him. He's still dealing with his past apprentice, the fall of his past apprentice. And so Obi-Wan's like, well, maybe this is the time. Maybe I have a chance. Spoilers, he doesn't have a chance. He's told that he has to ship out with the agri-corps the next day. He's like, no, I'd have to go. I can't believe it. I can't believe I have to go. He's like, yeah, the ship's leaving. You got to get on it. But Yoda's talking to Mace Windu and a few of the other Jedi Council members and going, hey, this Bruck and Obi-Wan, Bruck is deceitful. They find out that he set Obi-Wan up on something. He sparred with Obi-Wan for most of the night, then acted like his injuries from the fight that he instigated were terrible. The Obi-Wan hurt him for no reason. So Bruck is a deceiver, and Obi-Wan is quick to anger and makes decisions. So what do we do? And Yoda's like, well, we'll give them both one more chance. So they do get to perform in front of Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan does win by being surprisingly aggressive. Qui-Gon comes in to talk to him, says, where'd you learn that technique? He went, well, and so Obi-Wan's all proud, like, I went on the offensive because he didn't think that. And, he's like, yeah, well, you should never attack in anger. So that's my tip for you. And he's not going to take him. He's not going to take Obi-Wan. Yoda kind of chides Qui-Gon, saying, hey, you maybe need to look at Obi-Wan. He's like, nope, not interested, don't want an apprentice. And he is going on a mission to Bandamere. Well, that's where Yoda is shipping Obi-Wan. Now, Qui-Gon's not happy because, one, he thinks it's a setup. He thinks Yoda is trying to hook him up with a Padawan. And Yoda's like, no, it was completely coincidence. But the Force, and nothing is coincidence in the Force, or however you rearrange those words, is what Yoda would say. But Qui-Gon thinks it's a setup. Also, he thinks it's way too dangerous a planet for a young Obi-Wan to be on. But Yoda's like, no, it'll work out for him. He'll be okay. He'll be surrounded by other people. So they actually board the same ship together. Again, Obi-Wan is super excited. He's thinking, oh, Qui-Gon, can I be your apprentice now? No, says Qui-Gon. They have an adventure on the ship. They get attacked by pirates, shot down. The ship is divided into two sections. They're the Arcadians and the Hutt's people, which are called the Off-Worlders. That's his mining corporation. And so there's a Hutt called Jimba the Hutt. And Jimba is very cruel and everything. And there's a few Obi-Wan, just like in these Jedi Apprentice books, he's headstrong, makes a decision, a quick decision, and ends up regretting it. And it seems like he's just making Qui-Gon more and more disappointed in himself. Well, Obi-Wan finally does something that impresses Qui-Gon by fending off the pirates and basically saving the rest of the ship, even though they get shot down and crashed. He's impressed a little bit with Obi-Wan's mannerisms, his quick decision thinking, giving himself to the living Force. But at the same time, every time Obi-Wan gets his hopes up, Qui-Gon shoots him down and goes like, no, not my apprentice. And I can hear Liam Neeson's voice during this. I mean, the Dave Wolverton, and of course later on Jude Watson, got these characters so down pat. You can close your eyes and you can hear Liam Neeson's voice whenever Qui-Gon Jinn talks, and it sounds like him too. Because even when he's mad or disappointed with Obi-Wan, he's keeping his voice mellow. He's not being mad. He's saying, and what did you do? And why is that wrong? And now I have to clean this up. Now you have made things worse. He was basically just kind of teaching him, but at the same time he is disappointed, but he's not raising his voice like Qui-Gon Jinn wouldn't. And teaching Obi-Wan lessons, which Obi-Wan is learning. And basically, as they crash on the planet, Jimba the Hutt steals all the Arcadians' food. They have this special food that they have to eat or they'll die. So as they crash, they find out there's a flood coming onto the planet, and it may flood the ship, so they have to leave the ship to get up to a cave. That's where Qui-Gon realizes that, oh wait, that's where Jimba hid all the food. It's up in a cave, because the food gives off a faint, the Arcadian's food gives off a faint yellow glow, and he remembers seeing a faint yellow glow from one of the caves, and he realizes that's where the food is. Good job, Jimba. Well, he didn't have many choices, I guess, on the planet where to hide it, right? There are also these like little, I don't really know what they're named are, but they're these winged eels that eat people. They have razor teeth and everything. If you make noise or commotion, they can find you and they'll eat you and gobble you alive. And as some of the Hutt's people find out, as they're trying to shoot blasters at Qui-Gon to stop him from, reaching the cave's entrance, when they shoot that first blaster, it alerts all these creatures to come and attack them. So they're getting eaten alive. There's another Hutt who's subservient to Jimba and realizes, if I don't stop the Jedi, then Jimba's going to kill me. So he gets up onto, this is kind of confusing here, but I think he gets up onto another mountain to shoot straight at the Jedi. What he finds out later on is Obi-Wan, who is facing down Jimba with a lightsaber. Jimba has a blaster at him. And so as the other Hutt shoots his blaster, Obi-Wan ducks. He was ducking to avoid Jimba's blast. He didn't feel the other blast coming from behind him. But as Obi-Wan ducks, he misses both blaster bolts, and the blaster bolt from the other Hutt sinks right into the chest of Jimba. And I love this, because Jimba looks at the big hole, crater in his chest, and goes, huh, like, well, huh, like, that's funny. And then he dies. I can see that happening. I love it. And now the other Hutt, he shot outside of the cave, which of course brought those creatures on him, and so he died too. Obi-Wan does a great job fending off the creatures to defend the Arcadians. Again, Qui-Gon's impressed, but again, he knows. Obi-Wan doesn't even ask, even though he really wants to ask to be the apprentice this time. Qui-Gon's not going to make him. But their adventure isn't over, because they have to make it on to Bandamir. I think I've forgotten that they didn't make him, Qui-Gon doesn't make him his apprentice in this book. I felt like he was going to do it at the end. I was like, oh, I only have like 2 pages left. Are they going to band together at the very end? Oh, no, they're not. That's in the second book. I totally forgot about that. I think this is great. Of course, they brought in Dave Wolverton to write the first book just to kickstart it out so people would read it and pick it up. And I always have to wonder, Jude Watson did an amazing job. Let me just say that. Jude Watson did a fantastic job with this series. Jedi Apprentice series is easily my favorite children's book series by far, because she's just so well, she develops these characters so well in the umpteen-ish books that come out from the Jedi Apprentice series. But if Dave Wolverton would have written them, I think it would have been just as well. I think it would have been just as good, because his first one is a solid book and was a solid start to an excellent series that I can't wait to reread and talk about next time.